Welcome to Give Me 5 minutes with Fort Smith City Director Neil Martin, where we talk about the events that happened last week and we'll look ahead to what's going on this week. So let's go ahead and get after it. Give me 5. We had a regular board meeting on December 13th. That's a voting meeting. A lot of things to talk about and a lot of things that I want to give you an update on. So most of the items were passed 7-0. That included an increase in the mayor's salary, helping with maybe our homelessness population, in enforcing and codifying trespassing warnings on city property, waiving in fees for a project at the Arkansas College of Health Education, and most of our consent agenda was approved unanimously for the most part. Couple items that we disagreed on. Number one was raising of the salary for the city directors. Now, if you recall, we ended up voting for a raise for the city directors from $1,000 set in 1967 to $7,800. Director Rigo had asked that we take a step back and slow down in doing this. There were a number of discussions around salaries around the state. It ended up passing 5-2 with an amendment. And the amendment would be that the raise, the $6,800 raise, come from the general fund rather than allocated across funds like most items concerning the board or administration or information technology and those things. So instead of that being allocated across sewer, sanitation, and other things, it's specifically coming out of the general fund. I voted for that, and most of the board voted for that. But ultimately, the raise for the board of directors from $1,000 to $7,800 passed 5-2. Director Rigo and Director Dawson were against it. Director Dawson had some very interesting points that she made in her discussion about that, but it ultimately passed 5-2. The other item that was not unanimous was an item on our consent agenda around approving a contract with First Western Insurance Agency for insurance and risk management advisory services for 23 and 24. Now, I voted against it. Director Settle voted against it because it looks like there's some things around this being a professional services contract. And with the professional services contract, you have to have multiple bids. We did not get multiple bids. So I was voting against it because ultimately I think what we were looking at is violating state law. And so I voted against it. Settle voted against it, but it passed 5-2. I think we've seen some cost savings associated with this agreement with First Western, but I wanted to make sure that we're doing the right thing. And so that was the reason that I voted against it. And that I'm not sure exactly. I'm assuming that's what Director Settle was doing as well, but I don't want to put words in his mouth. So all those everything was passed unanimously except those two items, 5-2 on both of those. We also had evaluations for our city administrator, Carl Gefkin, and our internal auditor, Tracy Shockley. So, it gave us an opportunity to say, these are the things you're doing well at. These are the things you need to work on. We gave good, honest, constructive feedback. And so I think we are better prepared going forward. I think we're going to have a good 2023. So I'm excited about where we're going as a city and what we're doing with the board. Due to the Christmas holiday, we do not have a meeting this week or next week. Our next meeting, I believe, is on January 3rd, but we'll talk in the next Give Me 5, and I'll be specific about when our next meeting is. But I look forward to seeing you in 2023. That's it for this week's Give Me 5. I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. We will see you again over the next couple weeks, but have a great time with family. Celebrate the Christmas season, and we'll do it again next week on Give Me 5.